Welcome to In the Hot Seat with the Tenney Group. I'm Spencer Tenney. It's good to be with you. Today we have Donna England, President and CEO of the Tennessee Trucking Association. Donna, welcome to Hot Seat.
Thank you for having me, Spencer. I'm excited to be here.
Me too. So before we heat it up a little bit, just take 30 seconds. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you're doing at TTA.
As you said, I am the President and CEO of the Tennessee Trucking Association. I'm also the Executive Vice President of the Tennessee Trucking Foundation. I, of course, am working on a lot of items this year. I took the role as President and CEO in 2022, had a really great year last year, and we're looking to have an even better year this year for 2023.
Well, and I'm looking forward to kind of unpacking that year and learning about what's ahead. So let's jump in right there. So 2022, your first year as the full year as president and CEO, what were some of your takeaways about that experience? You've been in the association for a while, but not as the head honcho. So what were some of your takeaways in your first year of leading this fantastic group?
Some of my takeaways this past year was that we have some really wonderful members. They support our mission. They would let us utilize their employees for our red team captains to go across the state, advancing highway safety. They just are incredible. We have wonderful members that go over and above what they should have to do. They're just wonderful. We enjoy the partnerships with our state affiliates, our folks at the Tennessee Department of Safety, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration partnerships that we have, Tennessee Department of Revenue. We have just had a tremendous year last year, and we hope to continue that in 2023.
Well, let's talk about that. As we look forward to 2023, what are some of the major initiatives that are really important to this group?
A couple of the things that we'll be working on this year, we are, of course, working with the Tennessee Department of Safety on the CDL backlog, CDL Commercial Driver's License backlog. That backlog is 8 to 10 weeks out to be able to get a CDL test scheduled in the state of Tennessee, which is way too long for somebody to have to wait to actually get a test completed. And then if they fail that test, then they have to go back and retest, and it takes another 8 to 10 weeks. You know, like I know, that the driver shortage is real, and when we have to wait that long to get somebody tested and in a truck, then it is really detrimental to our industry.
So let me just stop right there real quick. So just for context, for those that may not be as familiar with this, what's customary in terms of industry norm for that typical wait period?
Usually a couple of weeks, 3, 4 weeks, and of course Tennessee is not the only state with the backlog issue. There's other states out there, of course, and I know that those states are working on their backlogs as well. But we definitely, the commissioner at the Tennessee Department of Safety has assured us that they are working on it and that they will get this fixed. So that's something that, you know, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's something that they will address and are addressing and will get fixed in the near future.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So, what about legislation? You and I were kind of talking offline. There's some things that Tennessee Trucking Association is advocating for as well. So, can you unpack that a little bit for us?
Some of the items that is on our top of our list is truck parking. We know that we do not have enough truck parking spaces out there, and so we're looking at how do we develop more truck parking spaces. The Tennessee Department of Transportation did receive a federal grant where they are going to add 125 truck parking spaces in Carthage, Tennessee. They also are painting lines at the Portland Scales on the northbound side that is closed down. That scale facility on the northbound side has been shut down for several years, so they're painting lines to add more truck parking spaces there as well. TDOT has been working with us, and of course I know that they have a lot of other areas to cover as far as the infrastructure and highways, but that is one thing that we will be wanting to add more truck parking spaces in the coming years.
100%. Now, you also mentioned something about the uh, something around electrical trucks as far as battery legislation. So can you unpack that as well?
We have a few members that are starting with battery electric vehicles. Those batteries weigh more than your regular
Yeah, a
vehicles,
lot more.
the battery electric vehicles. So what they've done in Tennessee several years ago, they passed legislation to allow extra weight for natural gas vehicles. And so what we are wanting to do is just add the electric vehicle, the battery electric vehicles to that TCA code or TCA code. Once that's added, then that will hopefully be added this year, and will get passed through the legislation where it will allow up to 2,000 pounds more. So right now, your gross vehicle weight is 80,000, and that would allow up to 82,000 pounds.
I think it's really interesting. When do you think that, we'll see some traction around that, or if we will? Well, wonderful, wonderful. So let me kind of pivot a little bit. I'm really interested in this because um, state association, it is so important in terms of the advocacy and just um, the overall networking and all the things that take place to make the industry better. But it takes a tremendous amount of coordination and a tremendous amount of leadership. So I'm really curious. Tennessee is one of the most well-known, well-run state trucking associations. How do you think about leadership, Donna? Like, what does it take to herd all the cats, to get everybody where they need to be, to get the things done? What's worked for you?
Our association, I'm very proud of. I have been a member of our association for years. My previous employment was with a trucking company. I worked for RE West Transportation out of Ashland City, Tennessee. I worked there 21 years, and during my time there, I was part of the association, and I saw as a member just what all our association does for our members. When I came to work here, it's kind of funny. I didn't realize just what all our association did do behind the scenes. When I came to work here, I was like, wow, we really do a lot. And of course, being, I'm from the outside looking in, and now I'm on the inside, looking out. It is just very, you know, it makes me proud to be a part of such a wonderful association. And one of the reasons that I feel like that our association is so wonderful is because we have such great members. Our members are wonderful. We also had great leadership over the years. Dave Hunter Yeager, our former president and CEO, just retired after 17 years of leading our association. Dave done a wonderful job, put us in a wonderful position with our association, and of course, is enjoying retirement now. So Dave has put us in a great position, and I hope to continue that in the years to come. Dave done a super job, and as far as the association and our members, I can't tell you enough about how wonderful they are and how much they do for us. They, as far as our meetings, our truck driving championships, all of our events, they help us coordinate. They get out there, they work their butts off trying to make sure that everything happens. So without our members that are so active in our association, we couldn't do all that we do.
I think that's well said, and also just a certainly um, great tribute and praise for the work that Dave has done for a long time. Certainly is put the association on a track for continued success, and so agree 100% on that. So let's talk about challenges. We were talking about the Atree's list of the 10 top issues, a little bit of deviation when we kind of get that down to the state level. But what do you think about? What are the things that concern you as a leader within this space? What are the issues that are most pressing to you personally? And have you kind of thinking about how to organize your team to bring value to the members of your association?
One of the, of course, top issues that we've had for years and years is the driver shortage. That issue is ongoing. There was only one time that I've seen in my career that there was not a driver shortage, and it was when we had the recession in 2008, 2009. Drivers were actually, begging you to hire them and let them come to work for you. And so with that being said, the labor shortage that we've experienced over the last year or two since the pandemic, I think is our biggest issue and concern right now. And I think that, of course, I feel like that it's easing up some, but there's still so many companies out there, not just the trucking industry, but so many industries out there that are dealing with still labor shortages. So hopefully we can advance the labor shortage issue. We, as far as the truck driver shortage issue, something that we're working on trying to do is get in the high schools and get in front of these young folks and let them know that they can have a great career in our industry in trucking. We have partnered with several other associations in the state of Tennessee. We have the Tennessee State Chamber, the Tennessee Road Builders, the ABC Associated Builders, Associated Builders and Contractors Association, Associated Builders and Contractors Association, and the Tennessee Forestry Association, as well as the Tennessee Concrete Association. We've all partnered together to bring to the state of Tennessee Be Pro, Be Proud, which is a program that Arkansas started several years ago. And it's a tractor trailer that has simulators in it that goes around to the high schools. And it has not just trucking simulators or technician simulators in it. It has plumbing, electricians. It has just a different welding, all kinds of different simulators. And it'll hold anywhere from 10 to 15 simulators. And we can take it across the state and we can show these young high school students that there are a lot of careers that they can do and not have to go to a four-year college. So we're looking at hopefully kicking that off in the spring for the 2023 school year. That's something that we are really excited about coming up here in the near future.
I love that. I mean, that's such an impactful, experiential type tool to help attract new talent. And I'm so glad that you guys are doing that. And I'm so glad that you've been able to kind of create a coalition with these other associations to help drive that home. So one last question, a little bit of a wild card, Donna. It's going to be about politics and religion. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But hey, you know, you have been in trucking for a long time in some form or fashion. So we talked about, the organization in terms of making to the pitch to the high school. What would your pitch be to someone who's coming out of high school? What would you tell them in terms of what's the merit of getting involved in the trucking space, either as a driver or as an executive? Why now? Why would this be an exciting time for them to think about a career in this space?
I can tell you that from my own experience, trucking has been a great career for me. I started out at a truck driver training school, and I want to back up. Trucking has been a great career for me. I started out fueling and washing trucks back in 1993 at one of the companies that I ended up going to work for. And that was probably the best job I ever had. I loved it. It was so much fun, even though it was hard work, fueling trucks, washing trucks. But it was, you got to get up in the truck, drive it around the parking lot, park it after I got done. That was probably what I loved the most about it, was being able to get in the truck and drive it. I went on to get my commercial driver's license. I drove a truck for a brief time, and then I also started as a CDL third-party examiner. I was certified by the state of Tennessee to be able to road test folks, and so that gave me, a lot of just to be able to help somebody start their career in trucking. And then as far as what I've done over the years, being that person that has helped other people get a leg up into our industry, I see it as a great career. Truck driving, technician. We don't only need those two. We need IT folks. We need marketing folks. We need, the list goes on and on, payroll folks, accounts payable. So there's just a lot of things that are there are a lot of careers that they can have in trucking, and it's not just as a truck driver or as a technician.
Well, I love that, and I'm just grateful that I love your passion, Donna, but I also appreciate your service. I mean, what you do largely goes unnoticed for a lot of folks in our industry, but we notice, and we want to thank you for all that you're doing for the state of Tennessee and beyond. That's going to do it for us here in the hot seat. We will see you next time.